next up, the 1990 Washington silver quarter with a D mint mark in extra fine condition. Let's find out what it's worth in today's market. Before we talk about its value, let's look at the history of this coin. The Washington quarter was first minted in 1932 to honor the 200th anniversary of George Washington's birth. However, by 1965, the US Mint stopped using silver for quarters. So, if you have a 1990 quarter, it's not silver. It's made of copper and nickel. But don't worry, it can still hold significant value, especially if it has a D mint mark and is in extra fine condition. You'll find the D mint mark just to the right of Washington's ponytail on the reverse side of the coin. The D indicates it was minted in Denver. Now, let's get to the exciting part. How much is your 1990 D Washington quarter worth? In extra fine XF condition, this coin has some noticeable wear but retains most of its details. According to today's market trends, it can fetch around $1 to $3. While this might not seem like much, it's significantly higher than its face value of 25 cents. If you find one in uncirculated condition, its value can increase, especially among collectors looking for coins with sharp details and no scratches. Keep an eye out for coins with rare minting errors. They can be worth even more. So, if you have a 1990 D Washington quarter, inspect it closely, check its condition, look for mint errors, and consider getting it graded by a professional service. Grading can significantly boost its market value. Next up, the 1983 P quarter, in very fine condition. How valuable is it in today's market? Stick around to find out. 1,300. First, let's get some context. The 1983 Washington quarter might not be made of silver, but it holds a special place in numismatics. Due to a lower survival rate of high-grade examples, coins from this year are highly collectible, especially with the P mint mark. A coin in very fine condition, or VF, shows moderate wear. You can still see most details, like Washington's hair and the eagle's feathers, but the high points will show noticeable smoothing. It's a grade that collectors find appealing because it balances affordability and detail. So, how much is a 1983 P Washington quarter in VF condition worth today? Based on current market trends, its value can range between $3 to $5 USD. This is quite a premium compared to its face value, all thanks to its collectible status and scarcity in better conditions. Keep in mind, the value may vary depending on factors like market demand and slight differences in condition. If you find a 1983 EP quarter with additional errors like doubling or off-center strikes, the price could skyrocket even further. And there you have it. The 1983 P Washington quarter might just be hiding in your change, waiting to be discovered. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell for more coin insights. Who knows, your next treasure could be just a pocket away. Next up, the 1974 Washington quarter, without a mint mark, in fine condition. Let's find out how much it's worth in today's market. Before we jump into the value, let's address an important fact about the 1974 Washington quarter. This coin is not made of silver, but a copper-nickel composition. However, some collectors mistakenly associate it with earlier silver quarters from 1964 and earlier. Its absence of a mint mark indicates it was minted in Philadelphia. Key features to identify this coin include the iconic bust of George Washington on the obverse and the American eagle on the reverse. These design elements remained consistent in this series until 1998. Now let's talk value. In fine condition, the 1974 Washington quarter without a mint mark isn't considered a rare coin. Due to its high mintage, over 800 million, this coin is quite common. In today's market, its value is primarily tied to its face value of 25 cents. For collectors, a fine condition piece might fetch around 30 to 50 cents due to its historical interest. but it doesn't carry a significant premium. However, if you happen to own a 1974 quarter in uncirculated or mint state condition, the value could rise to $3, $5 depending on its grade. Coins with pristine surfaces and sharp details are always more desirable to collectors. So while the 1974 Washington quarter without a mint mark isn't a jackpot find, it's still a great addition to any collection. Always check your coins carefully sometimes. A small variation or error could make all the difference in value. Next up, the 1995 D Washington quarter. How much is this coin worth in today's market? Let's find out. The 1995 D Washington quarter isn't made of silver. It's actually a copper-nickel-clad coin, part of the standard production after silver quarters were discontinued in 1964. However, the value of this coin can still go beyond its face value depending on its condition, mint mark, and rarity. In normal circulating condition, with some wear and tear, a 1995 D quarter is typically worth face value 25 cents. But here's where it gets interesting. If your quarter is in better than average condition, like AU almost uncirculated or MS mint state grades, its value can rise. For example, a 1995 D Washington quarter in MS65 condition, that's a mint state coin with minimal marks, can be worth around $5 to $10 today, and if it's in pristine MS67 condition or higher, collectors might pay upwards of $20 to $30 or more. Now, what if you have a coin with unusual characteristics? Error coins or those with minting anomalies, like doubled dies or off-center strikes, could fetch even higher prices, sometimes in the hundreds of dollars. So, how do you check your 1995 D Washington quarter? Start by inspecting it for any errors, and then compare its condition to a grading chart. You can also consult a professional coin grading service to get an accurate assessment. Remember, even if your 1995 D quarter is just a regular one, it's still a piece of history worth holding onto. And who knows, you might just stumble upon a gem that's worth a lot more than 25 cents. Next up, the 1998 Washington silver quarter dollar with a P mint mark. How much is it worth in today's market? The 1998 Washington quarter is an important coin for collectors. While it's not as rare as some others, there are specific factors that can increase its value, especially when the coin is in good condition. First, let's talk about the mint mark. The 1998 quarter with the P mint mark was struck at the Philadelphia Mint, which is a key feature collectors look for. But how valuable is it, really? In good condition, the 1998 P Washington silver quarter typically has a face value of 25 cents. However, depending on its condition, it could fetch more. The value largely depends on the coin's grade. A coin in good condition might be worth around $3 to $4. But as the condition improves, so does the value. In extremely fine condition, you can expect the coin to be worth closer to $6 or $7. But if it's in uncirculated or proof condition, especially with any special collector's packaging, it could go much higher, up to $10 to $15 or more. Keep in mind that coin values fluctuate with the market, and it's always important to check with reliable sources or a professional coin dealer for the latest prices. The 1998 Washington quarter isn't the rarest in the series, but its value as a collectible item is still solid, particularly for those in good or better condition. So, if you have a 1998 Washington silver quarter with a P mint mark, take a close look at its condition. It could be worth a lot more than just 25 cents. Next up, the 1990 version with the D mint mark, and we're going to discuss its value even when it's in less than ideal condition. Now you might be wondering, how much could a silver quarter from 1990 be worth if it's in dirty or worn condition? Let's take a closer look. First off, the 1990 Washington quarter is made of a copper nickel clad, which means it doesn't have the high silver content of earlier quarters. However, some specific Washington quarters particularly those minted before 1965, contain 90% silver. But what makes this coin interesting, even in dirty or worn condition, is its rarity and potential demand among collectors. The D Mint mark stands for the Denver Mint, where these quarters were struck. While the D Mint mark is common for the 1990 quarter, the coin's condition and its potential rarity make a big difference in its value. Now, when it comes to dirty or worn coins, collectors often wonder if it's still worth keeping. While dirt, tarnish, or wear can decrease a coin's value, the good news is that even coins in less than perfect condition can still carry some worth. For example, a 1990 Washington quarter in poor condition, even with dirt or surface marks, might still hold value because collectors seek out certain years and mint marks. Even in dirty or circulated condition, the 1990 Washington quarter with a D Mint mark could fetch around $3 to $5. However, if the coin is particularly rare or has some unique characteristics like an error or interesting wear pattern, the value could rise even higher. The silver content of earlier quarters can also affect the price, so be sure to check for any signs of silver content in other similar coins. So, even if you find a 1990 Washington quarter with a D Mint mark in a less than perfect state, don't immediately dismiss it. It could still be worth more than face value. If you're unsure about the condition or value of a coin, take it to a professional appraiser or consult a trusted coin guide to get an accurate assessment. Next up, the 1986 Washington Silver Quarter with a D Mint mark. If you have one of these in your collection or are curious about its market value, stick around as we break down everything you need to know. The 1986 Washington Silver Quarter is part of the regular circulating coinage from the United States Mint, but it has some unique characteristics worth noting. First, this coin features George Washington on the obverse, and the reverse showcases an eagle holding an olive branch, symbolizing peace. But did you know this particular quarter is made of 90% silver? That makes it stand out from the copper-nickel-clad quarters minted later. Now, let's talk about the D Mint mark. This indicates the coin was minted at the Denver Mint. The 1986 quarter, like many others from this year, has a D Mint mark, which can influence its rarity and value, especially when compared to quarters from other mints. Now, when it comes to the value of this coin, the condition is key. We're focusing on a coin in what we call normal damaged condition. This means the coin is not in pristine, uncirculated shape and has some wear from circulation, possibly with scratches or discoloration. But don't worry, even in this condition, it still holds some value. So, what's the market value of a 1986 Washington Silver Quarter in normal damage condition today? Well, these quarters, due to their silver content, are worth more than their face value of 25 cents. In today's market, the silver melt value alone is around $5 to $6, depending on the current price of silver. However, the coin's numismatic value can fluctuate. In average circulation condition, expect this quarter to be worth anywhere from $7 to $9, and collectors may pay more, depending on the overall demand and the coin's appearance. Even with some damage, the 1986 Washington Silver Quarter with a D Mint mark still has a decent value, thanks to its silver content and historical significance. If you come across one, it's definitely worth keeping, as silver prices can change and the coin may rise in value over time. Next up, the 1980 Washington Silver Quarter with a D Mint mark. Stick around as we explore its value in today's market. Punchback. The 1980 Washington Quarter is part of the U.S. Mint's Washington Quarter series, which started in 1932 and continues to this day. Most quarters from this year are made of a copper-nickel clad, but today we're focusing on the silver variety. In 1980, the U.S. Mint produced quarters at 3 locations: Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. The D Mint mark you see on the coin stands for Denver. where this particular quarter was minted. Here's where it gets interesting. The 1980 Washington quarter with the D mint mark is made of a 75% copper and 25% nickel composition, meaning it doesn't contain the 90% silver of older quarters. However, some collectors still value these coins, but they're often worth only their face value unless they're in excellent condition or a special type. In normal circulated condition, a 1980 Washington quarter with a D mint mark typically trades around its face value, which is 25 cents. But for collectors looking for higher grade examples, they might pay a little more depending on the coin's condition and rarity. Coins in uncirculated or mint condition could be worth between $1 to $3, though it's important to note that these values fluctuate based on market conditions and demand. The key to a higher value coin lies in its condition. A well-worn quarter with visible scratches or damage is typically worth less, while a coin with sharp details, minimal wear, and no discoloration or damage can fetch more from collectors. So, while the 1980 Washington quarter with the D mint mark isn't a silver-rich treasure like some older quarters, it still holds value for collectors depending on its condition. Always check the condition of your coins to see if they could be worth more than face value. Next up, the 1991 Washington silver quarter dollar with a D mint mark, even in a damaged condition. So, what's its value in today's market? First, let's take a look at the coin itself. The 1991 Washington quarter features George Washington on the front and an eagle on the reverse. It's part of the series of quarters that were produced for circulation by the US Mint. Now, you might be wondering, what does the D mint mark mean? The D stands for the Denver Mint, where the coin was produced. Mint marks are used to identify which US Mint facility produced the coin. So this particular 1991 quarter was made in Denver. But here's where it gets interesting. The coin we're talking about is in damaged condition. You can see the wear and tear on this piece, which could be anything from scratches, dings, or even a bent edge. Damage like this usually decreases a coin's value, but there are some exceptions. In today's market, a damaged 1991 Washington silver quarter with a D mint mark generally has a value that's lower than a pristine one. The silver content alone is worth something, as these quarters are made from 90% silver. The melt value of a 1991 quarter is roughly around $4 to $5, depending on the current price of silver. However, even in a damaged state, the coin can still have some collector appeal. Some buyers may look for specific types of damage or may still be willing to purchase it. But typically, you might find these coins selling in the range of $3 to $7, depending on the extent of the damage and the current demand from collectors. To sum it up, a 1991 Washington silver quarter with a D mint mark in damaged condition may not be worth a lot more than its silver content, but it can still hold some value. Whether you're a collector or just looking to sell, the condition and current market demand will always play a big role in determining its price. Next up, the 1989 Washington silver quarter with the BM mint mark in extra fine condition. What makes this coin so special? Let's take a closer look. Nikir Batikunam, Hanidu Minantam. The Washington quarter, first minted in 1932, is one of America's most iconic coins. But not all quarters are created equal. The 1989 Washington quarter is part of a series of standard circulation issues, and it has its own place in the coin market. If you've got a 1989 quarter with a D mint mark, it was struck at the Denver Mint. This particular coin is valued based on its condition and the silver content it contains. Coins in extra fine condition, or EF, show some light wear but still maintain most of their original detail. The edges, for instance, may have softened a bit, but the features on the obverse and reverse are still very crisp. This level of preservation is important when determining the value of the coin. Now let's talk about value. The 1989 Washington quarter although part of regular circulation, is primarily composed of 90% silver. As of today's market, the value of a 1989 Washington quarter in extra fine condition is generally between $6 to $8, depending on the silver market's current price and demand. The silver content alone contributes significantly to its value, so this quarter is more than just a piece of history, it's also a valuable asset. Keep in mind the condition of the coin plays a huge role. A well-maintained coin in extra fine condition can fetch a higher price compared to one in lesser condition. If you're a coin collector or investor, these factors are crucial when assessing the value of your collection. Of course, prices can vary by seller and location. If you plan to sell or buy a 1989 Washington silver quarter in extra fine condition, it's always best to check with trusted coin dealers or auction sites to get an accurate current price. So, whether you're a seasoned collector or just getting started, knowing the value of your coins can be a great way to make informed decisions. The 1989 Washington silver quarter, with a D mint mark in extra fine condition, offers both historical significance and potential investment value. Up the 1948 no mint mark penny in black color shade condition in today's market. Could this humble coin be worth more than you think? The 1948 Lincoln wheat penny without a mint mark was minted in Philadelphia. This classic design features Abraham Lincoln on the obverse and two wheat stalks on the reverse. It was a common coin in circulation, but its value today depends on several factors, such as its condition, rarity, and unique attributes. Coins with a black color shade, also known as patina, are often the result of natural aging or environmental exposure. This unique coloration can add character to a coin, making it stand out in a collection. However, the value largely depends on whether the patina enhances the coin's aesthetic appeal and preserves its details. In today's market, a 1948 Lincoln wheat penny without a mint mark in black shade condition can fetch anywhere between 10 cents and $5 in average circulated condition. However, if the coin is in uncirculated condition or has a particularly striking black patina, its value can climb to $15 or more. If you own a 1948 wheat penny with a black shade, consider having it professionally graded to determine its true value. Store it in a protective holder to maintain its condition and prevent further oxidation. And always research market trends before selling your coin. Next up, the 1946 D wheat penny. Stay tuned to discover its value in today's market, especially in extra fine condition. The 1946 D Lincoln wheat penny was struck at the Denver Mint, indicated by the small D mint mark below the date. Over 315 million of these coins were minted, making them common at the time. But what makes this coin valuable today is its condition and historical appeal. In coin collecting, condition is everything. A coin in extra fine condition, or EF40 on the grading scale, shows only slight wear on the highest points of the design. It still retains much of its original luster, making it a favorite among collectors. Now, let's talk value. The price of a 1946 D wheat penny in extra fine condition depends on demand, rarity, and overall market trends. These factors fluctuate, but this coin consistently holds a strong position in the market due to its post-WWI historical significance. So, how much is the 1946 D wheat penny worth in extra fine condition today? In 2025, its market value typically ranges from $1.50 to $3.50. However, coins with exceptional eye appeal or those certified by professional grading services might fetch a higher price. Here's a quick tip for collectors. Always inspect your wheat pennies for unique features like errors or die variations, as they can dramatically increase a coin's value. And if you're buying or selling, Always rely on reputable dealers or online marketplaces. Next up, the 1958 Abraham Lincoln wheat penny, specifically the one without a mint mark. So, how valuable is it really in 2025? First, let's talk about the coin itself. The 1958 wheat penny was the last year of the wheat design before switching to the Lincoln Memorial reverse in 1959. Without a mint mark, this penny was minted in Philadelphia, the largest producer of this coin type. The value of any coin depends on its condition. For a 1958 wheat penny in normal damage condition, meaning it has seen regular circulation but isn't overly worn, its value varies based on market demand and rarity. In today's market, a 1958 wheat penny without a mint mark in normal circulated condition typically sells for about 2 to 10 cents. But why so low? It's because over 250 million of these coins were minted, making them common. The State Police of New Zealand, for example, recorded in its literature report that 44% of society was trained into poetic language in the last 10 years. But don't be discouraged. If your 1958 wheat penny is in better condition, say an uncirculated or mint state grade, it could fetch anywhere from $5 to $20, depending on its luster and grading. And for those rare few coins with errors, like double D strikes or other anomalies, the value can jump significantly. Error coins from 1958 have sold for hundreds or even thousands of dollars. So, the next time you find a 1958 wheat penny in your change, take a closer look. While most are only worth a few cents, a rare find in excellent condition could be a great addition to your collection or even your wallet. Next up, the 1945 Abraham Lincoln wheat penny without a mint mark. Could you have one of these hiding in your collection? Stick around to find out how much it's worth in today's market. First, let's talk about what makes the 1945 wheat penny unique. These coins were struck during a time of great historical significance, towards the end of World War II. If your penny lacks a mint mark, that means it was minted in Philadelphia, the primary minting location at the time. Now, condition is everything when it comes to coin value. Even without a mint mark, a 1945 penny in good condition can still fetch a decent price. By good condition, we mean a coin that shows some wear but has visible details and no major damage. Alright, let's talk numbers. Today's market, a 1945 wheat penny without a mint mark in good condition is generally valued at around 10 to 25 cents. Not bad for a penny, right? But here's the kicker. If your coin is in better condition, like very fine or extremely fine, the value can jump to 50 cents or even $1. And for those of you lucky enough to own a 1945 wheat penny in mint state or uncirculated condition, you're looking at values ranging from $5 to $15 or more. Exceptional specimens with high grading can even reach higher prices at auctions. So, how do you determine the condition and value of your penny? Use a magnifying glass to check for wear on Lincoln's face and the wheat stalks. And if you're serious about selling, consider having it professionally graded by a service like PCGS or NGC. There you have it, folks. The 1945 wheat penny without a mint mark is a small piece of history with a bit of value attached to it. If you've got one, it's definitely worth holding on to, or maybe even trading up for a more valuable coin. Next up, the 1938 Abraham Lincoln wheat penny with a D mint mark. We'll cover its value in today's market and why this seemingly normal penny might just be worth more than you think. Now, at first glance, the 1938 penny may seem like any other, but there's more to this coin than meets the eye. Let's start by talking about the details. This is a 1938 Lincoln wheat penny featuring Abraham Lincoln on the front and the classic wheat stalks on the reverse. It was minted in large quantities at both the Philadelphia and Denver Mint. You can tell if it's a 1938 D by looking at the mint mark located just below the date. The D stands for Denver. So, how much is this coin worth today? In normal condition, meaning it's not in mint or uncirculated shape, it's typically valued around 15 cents to 25 cents. That's for the average circulated example. But here's the thing, the value can vary depending on the coin's condition, rarity, and even demand. Some examples in slightly better than average condition can fetch up to $1 to $3. Now, I know what you're thinking. A penny worth? Just a few cents? But hang on, because coin condition is key here. Coins in better condition, like those with fewer wear marks or nice sharp details, will be worth much more. For example, if you find a 1938 D wheat penny in very fine condition, you might see a value around $5 or more. And if you happen to find an uncirculated one, especially in a mint state, the value could skyrocket into the $30, $50 range or higher. So, while the 1938 D penny may not be the rarest or most valuable coin out there, it definitely holds some charm and could be a nice addition to your collection. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more coin collecting content. See you and next time. Happy collecting.